Listeners be advised. The Holiloquy podcast discuss matters related to the human experience and many that are sexual in nature. Due to this, some conversations may surround triggering topics such as sexual violence, self-harm, abuse, and much more. Please be advised, a list of crisis and psychological resources will be available in the show notes of this episode. With that said, let's get started with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please as we go through the following safety instructions.
In the event that there is a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will drop from the overhead. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Breathe normally as oxygen is flowing even if the mask is not inflated. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Holiloquy podcast, where we step out and talk about sexuality. This is your host, Vernon T. Scott, also known as Slaytor Jackson, or you can call me Sebastian Adams. It all depends on how you found me. It doesn't matter. I accept all forms of me. So today we have the beautiful and wonderful and my love, Adrian, on the line today. Hey, Adrian.
Hey, me.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Don't sound like it. I'm messing with you. So today we are going to be participating in a segment that I call Releasing the Load. Now, this segment pretty much deals with any kind of passionate topic that the guest has that deals with sexuality or anything like that, or if they just have something that they want to rant about. This is that space to just talk about that issue. Now, in this conversation is not necessarily an issue that Adrian and I are going to be talking about, but it's going to be someone by the name of, which I definitely forgot. I thought her name was Bridget, but her name is actually Rebecca. So we will be talking about Rebecca today. So Adrian, who the fuck is she? And let's go ahead and read this situation for Phil. I'm here for it.
Well, I'm going to take y'all back to 2013, 9 years ago. So I had just started working at Geico Insurance Agency. And which you actually worked at too.
I did. I was traumatized from that place.
Weren't we all? So I'm at Geico, and I actually met two of my partners at Geico.
Oh Lord.
Three, 4? We're not gonna count. Anyway, I met some people at Geico. Rebecca is the first. She was actually my trainer there. So, I was in a department. I won't name it, but I was in a department, and she was my trainer, my training lead. And then she had a supervisor that she reported to. I'm so sorry. So yeah, as your training lead, it's a professional relationship. So we keep everything a band, keep it professional. Of course, I excelled in the program. I was one of the top students, doing really well. Wasn't really much she had to teach me. And I guess, when you spend a lot of time professionally with a person, feelings develop. On my part, I didn't have any feelings for her. Apparently they were secret feelings on her end. But we were at work, and there was a storm that basically had us in an emergency situation. And so Geico put everybody up in hotels. That way, one, they could still slave us. And two, everyone would be safe from the storm or whatever. So, of course, she and I ended up bunking together. And so up at that point, we had been kind of chit-chatting Everything was really still professional. Every now and then I slay some slick shit because what was I doing? I think I was like tying my shoe and like I stood up and I looked at her and like she looked like so dreamy eyed. And then she realized I saw her, turned bright red and walked away. So like that was so funny to me. But again, I have trouble reading attraction, not from me. So I just thought that's some shit white people do. Like maybe she was just not prepared to have her gaze met by a whole person that was black. I don't know. I really don't know why I didn't see the signs. They were there. So anyway, we bunked together, and we're in the bed. There's two beds. We're in our beds. I take a shower, laying in the bed. She's in her bed. We turn the lights off, about to go to sleep, and she's like, "Are you asleep?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "You want to talk until we fall asleep?" And I was like, "I guess." So we're talking or whatever about random shit. And she was like, "It's really cold." And I was just like, "Is it?" And then she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I mean, you can turn the heat up, I guess, but it might be hot." And she's like, "Yeah, I could do that." I was like, "Or you can get in my bed and, we could use body heat to stay warm." And she was like, "Oh, I mean, if you're okay with that, I'm okay with that." And I was just like, "All right, cool." So she gets in the bed. Naturally, my horny self was just like, I wonder if I could fuck her. Like, I wonder if that's just something I could do. Mind you, Rebecca is a good Christian girl. Like, she's a Mormon. She got them special draws on. Or so I thought. So I was like, shit, I'm gonna go for it. What else gonna happen? What's the worst that can happen? She like say no. Okay, then go get in your bed, bitch. So I kind of made a move on her. Like I cuddled her, and her hair smells really good. And so I was just sniffing her hair. That sounds creepy as fuck. I was sniffing
Let
it.
me sniff you.
And then she kind of leaned into me, and I took my hand and put it in a place, and she enjoyed herself. So yeah, I fingered her during a blizzard, and I think we basically fucked all night. Honestly, like I think we only got like 3 hours of sleep. So we go to work. I'm thinking it's just a one and done. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I came, I saw, I conquered. And yeah, I'm good. So I go to my desk and I'll come back. There's a whole breakfast at my desk. I'm talking grits, sausage, apple juice, milk, a biscuit. Like, mind you, I go at a cafeteria, but sis dropped like $20 to feed a nigga breakfast.
An expensive ass cafeteria.
Yes. So I was just like, oh shit. Like,
you put the shit down.
I will never forget what I thought when I seen that shit. I was like, oh, I done fucked up. I done fucked up. Oh shit. So I sit down and I'm just acting like, nah, it's not for me. So she comes back and she's like, are you not hungry? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I could eat. She's like, I got you breakfast. I was like, oh, all of this is for me? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, let me cash app you. And she was like, no, you don't have to. And I was like, fuck, in my mind, because sis sprung. So the whole day she's like glancing at me and like hoping I have a question. And I'm just, taking calls. We had calls on hold because it was a fucking blizzard. So I'm just doing what I gotta do, going to my break, going to my lunch, whatever. So the day comes to an end and she's like, hey, do you want to come to my place? And I was like, sure, where do you stay? Why did I say yes? I had so many opportunities to cut this off. But the fucking hoe in me was like, I mean, we already this far. Might as well see what we can do. So she was like, yeah, like I'll cook you dinner and go watch a movie and like drink some wine or something. At that time, I wasn't really big into wine. I was like, I don't really like wine. Oh, you have a question? Yes.
So what you're telling me is that sis is giving you 2 meals within the span of 24 hours? Oh my God. Adrian, like I get doing what needs to be done and getting breakfast, but 2 fucking meals? You got breakfast and dinner and wine?
Oh wait, it gets better.
Oh my
So
Lord.
she's like, I was like, well, I gotta go home and get some clothes and shit. And she was like, no, you don't have to go home. Like, what's your sizes? I'll get you some clothes to keep at my place. And I was like, oh, you want me to have clothes at your place? Like, you want me to come back? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, all right. So I tell her my sizes, and she's like, just follow me. So I follow her to her Warner Robins, where she used to live, which is like a 30-minute ride from where Geico was. So follow her there, whatever. We're there. We watch it's Quentin Tarantino film. I can't remember what it's called.
Something racist.
It was like a lot of explosions and drugs and highway driving, but I really don't.
Sounds about right.
Death Race, maybe something like that. So we're watching it or whatever. So I recognized one of the actresses from another series. I was like, that's her. And she's like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is. She's like, no, it's not. That's not her. I'm like, Pete this. I was like, bet me then, since you think you so right. And she was like, okay, what are we betting? And I was like, bet me. If I win, you got to kiss me. Because we didn't kiss. You know, I was just freaking and geeking. I don't like to kiss you if you just jump off. So I was like, kiss me if you're right. Like if you know what you know. I already knew she was wrong. So that's why I bet that. So she was like, she blushed and she was like, fine. So we pull up IMDb, and sure enough, I was right. And I was like, I would like my kiss over here on the couch. So she looks genuinely terrified. And I'm just like, girl, what you scared of? Just fucking kiss. Like, also, I'm super tipsy and I'm a horny drunk. So, like, whenever I get fucked up, I'm going to get horny, happy, or I'm going to get happy, then horny, then sleepy in that order. So, we had made it to the horny phase. And so I was like, this is how you going to kiss me? She was like, you going to tell me how to kiss you? I was like, yeah, I want the bet. I'm going to tell you what I want. Otherwise, you don't fulfill the obligation of the bet, and then we'll be here all night. And she was like,
The Holiloquy podcast focuses on the variability of sexual expression. When it comes to sexual expression, we often depend on pornography to illustrate how one must perform sexually. For those who have not learned this by now, the stuff you see in porn is not real. Pornography provides a singular perspective of sexual expression that is not often the reality we see during our own sexual encounters. The Holiloquy podcast is a conversation that takes you outside of the compressed box of what many know about sex. Some of the topics we discuss includes kinks, condom usage, status disclosure, and past sexual experiences. The Holiloquy podcast steps out on sexual norms and recognizes that the norm is not the only normal. Subscribe today and join the conversation.
I want the bet. I'm gonna tell you what I want. Otherwise, you don't fulfill the obligation of the bet, and then we'll be here all night. And she was like, okay. So I was like, I want you to sit on my lap, put your legs around my hips, look me in my eye. I'm gonna put my hands on your ass. You gonna open your mouth, and I'm gonna put my mouth on your mouth, and we're gonna kiss. And she was like, okay. So I kissed her, and she liked it, and I kept kissing her, and she kept liking it. And my hands went from her ass to her puss, and it was a deluge. So I knew what time it was. Slaytor, you had a question.
Mel, it's been 24 hours. And you first you rocked her world enough that she got you breakfast. And I mean expensive breakfast, because the eggs alone at Geico was like $3 fucking. If you getting sausage with that, that's another $3 fucking. If you got grits, that's like $5. Like the shit comes up. Tax per item, y'all. Tax per item. So she got you a responsive ass breakfast, then got you some fucking clothes, and cooked for you with some wine. And
it was tuna casserole. It was good as fuck too.
Oh my Lord. And then you have her on your lap in a very, what I would say is probably a very romantic position, a very sexual position at that too. You turned this little white girl out. Oh my Lord.
She wasn't little, but I did.
Oh my, she wasn't ready. She was not ready.
No, she wasn't. So we're making out and I'm playing with the cat, you know,
Ran,
and
ran.
she's getting her life. And I think she was like, stay the night. And I was like, you know, if I stay the night, fucking like all night. And she was like, yeah. And so sure enough, I stayed the night. We had sex for like 4 hours. And luckily the next day was a Saturday, so I was off. I think she was off too. So I just ended up passing out, falling asleep or whatever. And I wake up and she's like, you want to go to Waffle House? And I'm like, damn, man, I ain't been home in 3 days. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I was like, you got a cigarette? She was like, nah, but I can get you some. And I was like, okay. So we go to the corner store, give me a pack of cigarettes. Back then I used to smoke cloves. So I get a clove, I'm smoking it, and she's like, can I have one? I'm like, girl, you bought them. Yeah, get one. So she smokes it with me, and you know, we're smoking. I'm like, damn, you say you don't smoke, but you ain't coughed yet. She was like, well, I used to smoke, I quit. I was like, some bad influence on you. And she was like, maybe. And I was like, ooh. So the thrill of Rebecca for me, she had very beautiful brown eyes. Like, I love brown eyes. Like, I just love them. That is my weakness. If your eyes are brown and I can see that they're brown, it's like God made a cheat code for me, and brown eyes is the key. Like, if you want me wrapped around your finger, well, no, I wouldn't wrap around my finger, but if you want to have sex with me, let your eyes be brown. Because it's a pretty possible chance for you. Also, I like green eyes too. So there's that. No more secrets. But yeah, so we're at breakfast and I'm like, so, you know, I fingered you, I made out with you, I've ate your pussy. You want some dick? And she's like, but you don't have those parts. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. It's not what I asked you. I said, do you some dick? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, follow me. So we went to the sex store and I was like, pick one. This is something I always do. Like, every female that I decide to have penetrative sex with, they pick the dick they want. They know they coochies. I don't know it that well. I may have been around it once or twice, you know, but they know what they can handle. They know what they like, and they know what they want to see me give them. So it's kind of like a challenge accepted type thing. Like, okay, Dre has big dick energy. I wonder if he can whip this. Is kind of the attitude that they all have, every single one. Except B. B was very shy. B was like, I mean, maybe this one. And I was like, you pick it. Whatever you pick, I will buy. So Rebecca picks hers. It's probably about 6-7 inches, but it's a fat dick. I'm like, oh, this girl, like, she like to get filled up. Okay. So, you know, I was like, you want to get some lube? And she's like, we won't need that. And I was like, damn. Ooh. Oh, we won't, huh? All right. Okay. I'm excited now. So we go home, we get some condoms. And I put it on. Like, I don't use harnesses. I used to, but then I was like, there's a lot of science, and I don't feel like doing the fucking algebra equation to put this shit on. But I could just give me some boxer briefs, a size too small, put them shits on there, stick my dick through the middle. Bow, I'm in there. Let go. So I put it on, and it was like, it was almost my skin tone. So it literally looked like it was mine. And, you know, I had a t-shirt on and my drawers or whatever, and I was just holding it in my hand. And she was like, come get me. And I was like, all right, lay down. So she lay down and I fucked her missionary. And then I fucked her doggy. And then Mo missionary. And then Mo doggy. And then she hit the reverse cowgirl. And I Yeah, I mean, I was in them guts for a good 2-3 hours. And so after that, she was like, I want to make you feel good. Which when you're dealing with cisgender heterosexual women, you're already a go-between the norms. They're already outside their comfort zone by fucking with you because they feel this strong desire, immense attraction. However, it goes against everything that they are and believe. So they have to have that inner turmoil and war with themselves. And you have to decide, whoever wins, how you're going to approach it. So she has finally, not finally, but like after 3 days, she has got to the point where she wants to suck the kid off. Mind you, she ain't never ate no pussy. So this is going to be fucking dumb. So she puts it in her mouth and she's like, it's so big and it's so warm and it's so wet. And I'm like, well, yeah, I've been fucking you for 3 hours. Like, it's all. And newsflash, I kind of like you. So, like, what you got going on, like, it wasn't so much her appearance. It was like, this sounds so evil. It was her purity. Like, she was so sweet and innocent. And I just wanted to defile her. That was the whole attraction. Like, I just wanted to make her dirty. Not like sexually, guys. I never had anything. I keep it clean, tested, rested. But I just wanted to make.
You wanted to turn her out?
Yeah. I was trying to avoid that, but yes. I was trying to fucking Edward Cullen her, but no remorse. So yeah, I like the way she moaned. Like the way she moaned during sex was pretty hot. So it would get a nigga there. And so she put it in her mouth and she's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, eat it like you eat ice cream. And so once I told her that, the pieces connected because I nutted in her mouth. It was like she had been going at it for like an hour. And I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck is this? And then when I said eat it like you eat ice cream, because she ate ice cream like a slut, I was like, eat it how you eat ice cream. She rolled my eyes back into my head. And I was just like, God damn. Give me that Becky.
Well, it's Rebecca.
Oh, yeah. That song got some heavy play while I was fucking with her. And she actually liked it too. She would laugh and smirk so hard whenever I play it because I'd be dancing at her and be like, yeah, that's you. Come here. So, needless to say, a lot happened very quickly. And then probably like a couple weeks later, I had went on her Twitter. I added her on Twitter and I went on her page. No, my friend from work was like, dude, have you been on her page on Twitter? I'm like, nah, what's up? And she was like, bro, you got to see this. So she sent me the link. So I go on her page and it was like scary. Like it was like, Babe and I are doing this and I'm going to meet Babe's mom and I cooked for Babe and she slept over. I'm so happy. And like, this is the happiest I've ever been. I want to be this forever. Like, that's my baby. And I was like, yo, what? Like, we ain't never DTR. Like, yo, you was just, no. Like, I was like, oh, fuck, I'm in too deep. So what did I do? Instead of, talk about the topic, confront the issue like an adult, I ghosted her. I ghosted the woman I work with. So I didn't call her. I didn't text her. I was at my house. Well, my mama's house, and I did some fucking period. She blowing up my phone. I'm not answering. Like, no, because bitch, what the fuck is this? Like, based on that Twitter fucking, we've been together like goddamn a year or some shit, and it's been 3 days, so or 4 days at that point. So I ghosted the fuck out of her. So then when she did see me at work finally, I was very like, hey, you, what's up, friend? Like, how you doing, buddy? Like, trying to enforce that you are not my bitch. And all that shit got to stop. So that's when she told me, she suffers from mental illness and, she has a hard time reading situations and she doesn't know what's true, what's not. And I was like, well, bro, let's just keep it on a friendly tip. And of course, that saddened her or whatever. So then she didn't ignore me, but like she was very professional, just hi and bye, blah, blah, blah. So What happened? Oh, so there was also in our same department, there's this gay lady who like one of those like very butch dykey women, white dykes. And she been liking Rebecca like since she came through training. And she was in the classes before me, so like she's already on the floor, as a full-fledged employee. So apparently she put two and two together and realized Rebecca had it bad for me. So I guess it was more like oh, I didn't even know you like girls. I liked you this whole time. I'm gonna shoot my shot. And so she shot her shot, and Rebecca was like, "No, I'm not gay. Like me and Adrian are just friends, and this is inappropriate." Blah blah. Just shut her down, right? So, I have now friends on her, and I'm going about my way. Actually, I'm trying to get at like two other bitches in different departments. So, I ain't even really focused on her. Well, then I see the two of them like chatting, and Rebecca sees me see them, and she starts like laughing, and like, she puts her hand on the girl that likes her arm. And remember, I am possessive. Like once you're mine, as in I've been inside you, get mine now. Don't. You ain't for the streets no more. You ain't for me every day. But when I come, you better call. Or when I call, you better come. That was the mindset that I had back then. So I see her canoodling or whatever. So I walk by like a G, and I'm like, ladies, and I keep going. And so I guess that wasn't what she was expecting. So I get a text, and she's like, "Are you mad?" And I'm like, "Do you want me to be?" And she's like, "I mean, are you?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm not. I just think it's funny that you talking to this bitch, but you don't like her. So you either being a abusive asshole to her, using her to make me jealous, or you lied. Either way, I'm good on you." So she was like, "No, I didn't lie. Like I was trying to make you jealous. Blah blah blah. Like I'm not getting any younger. Like you're not finna play with me. Like either you step up or you get on, because like I want a family and I want this and that." And I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm 21. Like you're damn near 30, and that is not my fault. Like your parents fucked 10 years before mine, and here we are. Uh I'm not finna be your baby daddy. All right. I'm not finna be your nigga. But I'm open to getting to know you. So we could talk. We could see where this goes. But you better dead that. And what my stupid ass didn't realize is she played the fuck out of me. She got exactly what she wanted. She made it where I chose the decision she wanted by presenting it and playing to my jealous side. Bravo, Rebecca. That was a good move.
Manipulation.
Yeah. So, things get, we're getting to know each other. We chilling, having conversations. And then, me and my mama get into it. And I leave. And I'm just driving around. And Rebecca had called me and was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Bro, not really a good time. Like me and mom's got into it. She told me to get out. Like, I don't know where I'm gonna go, blah, blah, blah." And she was like, "Come to my house. Like, bring your stuff. You can stay with me." No hesitation. Just like, boom. You do have somewhere to go. Come to my house. Bring your stuff. You live with me now. And that's literally what we did. She had like 2 months on her lease, and then we was gonna move to closer to the job. And so, yeah, I moved in with her. We moved all the stuff over. Got a bigger apartment because she was in a studio. So she got a 1 bedroom, which had more space or whatever. And we was really booed up in that bitch. So at this point, I'm like, bruh, come on, nigga. The bitch done got a whole nother apartment for you. You gotta do the right thing. Gotta do the right thing. So it's our birthday. Yeah, our birthday. We had the same birthday. So on our birthday, I asked her to be my girlfriend. She cried and said yes. And, we were booed up. So remember, she suffered from mental illness. This is the time. I guess she was so happy that, she felt she didn't need the medicine anymore. So she stopped taking it. And I met the other side of her, the suicidal, the emotional blackmail, the toxic distrust. Like she would do shit like follow me around town. Like I say, I'm going to go chill with so-and-so at this place, and she's driving by the place, or she's outside the place, or she's like near the place to make sure that's where I am. And I caught her, and I was like, "Bitch, what the fuck are you doing here? You have no reason to be out here. Why are you here?" And she gave me some bullshit excuse. I'm like, "Fucking crazy." So, as time goes on, like the dark side of her becomes too taxing for me to deal with. And her darkness starts to bring out my darkness. And it's just like, yo, this is no longer healthy. Like, we need to stop. So I break up with her. And by this point, we're in our new place. And I move all my stuff to the other bedroom and I'm sleeping in there and shit like that. And so at this point, I meet another one of my exes. She wasn't my ex then. She became my ex later. I meet her through a friend of a friend who knows what I'm dealing with Rebecca. And she's like, you just need, I told you not to date no white girl. Like, you need a black girl, my home girl. She's cute. Like, you'll like her, la, la, la. So she brings her homegirl down from Claims. And I meet her homegirl. I'm like, oh, damn. Oh, she is cute. And like, we'll call her Lanisha. So we got Lanisha. That's what a family called. So Nisha was like very she was the opposite. She was aggressive female, where Rebecca was very submissive. Nisha was more dominant. And remember, I'm a switch, which I didn't know that then, but it makes sense now. But I'm into either or. So I like the fact that Nisha was very dominant. She ain't gonna do this. She not gonna do that. She will do this. She will do that. She wanna fuck all the time. Like, she can twerk. Like, I'm dating the sisters now and I'm loving it. I don't want to play in the snow no more. I like melanin and I want to be covered in it and I'm having a good time. So Nisha know the situation. So my next birthday rolls around. So this is year 2. And Nisha's like, I just wanted to surprise you with some cupcakes. And I was like, nah, don't come over, because Rebecca was doing her fucking spiraling shit and I didn't want nobody to have to deal with it. She was like, that's not fair. Like, you deserve to celebrate your birthday. Like, come on. You're so sweet. Like, I want to do something for you. And I was like, we could do it another time. Like, trust me. So me and Nisha used to go to the gym after work. Yes, Slaytor.
So now this is kind of connecting something. So when you and Nisha got together, was this during your period of when shit fucks up, I'm just going to start to cheat? So were you like cheating during this process, or you broke it off with Rebecca and was like, fuck you, whatever the hell's going on with you, I'm going to find my next bae?
So it was a little bit of both. I didn't cheat on Nisha with Rebecca because by the time Nisha and I got physical, Rebecca and I was done with Rebecca and told her that, she didn't want to accept it. But because we still lived together, it was awkward. I didn't get physical with Nisha until I had completely broken things off with Rebecca. But I was definitely setting that up while I was still with Rebecca. So a lot of, like Nisha came over, helped pack the apartment so that we could move to the other one. And, we were talking and we went out to lunch and we had like a lot of sexual tension. Like, we wanted to do things, but Nisha wasn't a home wrecker and I wanted to respect that. She made me respect that. I didn't give a fuck. But to step to Nisha, I had to have my shit together. So I had to tell Rebecca, I'm done with you. I like her. This is what it is. Boom, boom. So, of course, naturally, Rebecca believes that I cheated on her the whole time with Nisha. But I'm like, I just met her a month ago. And talking to her and dealing with her, I don't want you. Like, I don't want this. You need help. I can't help you. I'm not equipped with the tools for that. You gotta, this is a path you go solo. So she threatened to kill herself. She broke a lamp or whatever. I went with Nisha and she called me and was like, don't come back to the apartment. The police are looking for you. And I was like, why are they looking for me? I didn't call them. Did you call them? And if you did, why did you call them? I didn't steal anything. My name is on this lease as well. And I only took my shit. So she was like, I was really hurt and blah, blah, blah. But I told them I don't want to press charges, but it's not up to me. Once there's a domestic situation, like, the state will press them for you. And I was like, but why did you call the police? I didn't do anything to you but break up with you, which is not a crime. But we're in a southern place and she was the right color to get what she wanted. So I went down to the police station, the following Monday, presented myself. They were like, we don't have any warrants for you. You're good to go. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I lived my life. So me and Nisha together for like a year. I run a stop sign. I get pulled over. I'm thinking I'm gonna just get a little ticket. I get arrested because they finally got me for the warrant that Rebecca put on me a year prior. So I spent a week in jail. Had to go to uh, she had to come to my hearing because she was the party. She told them that she didn't tell them that it was a false claim or whatever, because then she would have been in trouble. But she was like, she told them she didn't want to press charges. She just, I've already vacated the premises, and there's no reason for me to go to jail. So off of her testimony and me agreeing to a plea deal, I went to court ordered anger management and therapy for 10 sessions. And then I was able to get my record expunged. So the moral of this story is don't date crazy white women because it will fuck you up. And because of Rebecca, I have not dated another white woman since. This is 10 years. I've been swimming in melanin. I love you, sisters. Queens, you really are the superior beings. I love you all. Women of color, you're so delicious. So goddamn delicious. And I mean, everything's better in color anyway.
I have nothing to combat that statement. I like truthfully, like that is some wild ass shit. Wow.
Yeah.
And I understand your stance. And anybody who feels pushback by whatever you say do not understand the context of what you had to deal with, or even want to understand what you've dealt with, because racial trauma is a real thing, and it would keep you from wanting to be in a relationship with any person of that race. Is not that you hate everybody of that race, because that's not what it is. It's just, I cannot be, based off of the trauma that I experienced with this individual or those individuals, I just cannot put myself in that situation. Most definitely when it comes to police issues and Black individuals, she literally used her race card to put you in the situation that you did not need to be in because of her own anger, her own aggression, her willingness to not even deal with her own mental health the way that she's supposed to. And it put you in a predicament that you could have been in jail for a long time. You should have never had to even sign a plea deal. Like,
because I had a public defender and he was like, look, I'll just be real with you. You're not going to beat it. So just take the plea. You've never been in trouble. You won't even go to jail. And I was like, shit, okay. This is the skin I'm in.
And like the fact that she didn't own up to the fact that she lied is the thing that really bothers me. Like, you could have literally, like, yeah, you would have gotten in trouble for it, but you should have gotten in trouble for that because you endangered the life of someone else because you felt some type of way because of a breakup.
Mm-hmm. I realized in that moment, I was like, no more white girls, because you guys have an advantage that I cannot combat. If you get mad, you can use your privilege to ruin my life. So I can't give y'all that opportunity. Sisters ain't gonna call the cops on you unless you just jump on them. And most of the girls I've been with, if I jump on them, they jumping back. So ain't really nothing to call the cops about. We gonna deal with it together. So yeah, like I'd never been through that. I'm 21 and I got a fucking jail record. Like my mugshot was out there. Like you could Google me and see, all of that shit. So you can't see it now because it's expunged. Only like at federal clearance you can see it. But it hasn't stopped me from getting the opportunities. It didn't really fuck up my life too bad. But it was definitely a learning experience. I was just like, okay, when you're dealing with the whites, you got to move smart. You got to cover your ass because they're going to use that cheat code. They're going to use it. It's their world. So like you said, racial trauma, I'm good on it. I like people of color because the white man thinks we're all colored. So you ain't going to really give an advantage to either one of us if we even get you involved. And minorities don't deal with the police. They going to handle shit themselves. So, yeah, I like minorities. So that means if you got any type of color, you know what I'm saying? Samoans, Pacific Islanders, Asians, Black people, Hispanics, Afro-Latinas, I love y'all. I'm with y'all. I like y'all. Okay. Irish, Welsh, Europeans, y'all cool, but I'm good. I'm good on that. Friendship, maybe. Relationship, hell no.
And that's that on that.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing that I really have to say. For real. Granted, you recognize that back then that was a toxic time in your life. This is coming from like other earlier episodes. If you haven't gotten to that yet, go to those episodes. Listen to all the fucking episodes. That's all I'm saying. But like the growth of it all, like literally, that action could have, if it wasn't expunged, could have changed the trajectory of your life, all because of white feelings getting hurt.
Yep.
And that is the society that we live in, where white feelings literally changes the lives of so many individuals. Let's go with George Floyd. Let's go with Breonna Taylor. And that's just it's not necessarily white feelings, but it was white feelings that's preventing her from getting justice. Emmett Till, Reese Taylor.
I know it was intentional because before she called the police, she said, if I leave Nisha alone, come back to her, everything will go away. She'll forgive me. We'll get everything. We'll be fine. And I was like, no. And she did what she did.
The manipulation. I'm glad that you stood up for yourself in that moment anyway. So, like, wow. So if you are a Rebecca out here, I just need you to understand Adrian's story, dive deep into the caught in the distance that you're feeling, that desire that you want to lash out on her and not realize that she was literally the victim in this situation. The start of everything was a lot of sexual based things, and that got her hooked because good dick, good pussy, good whatever it is addictive. It's a drug. It does happen, but at the end of the day, when you use your privilege or use whatever it is that you have, like your authority, your power, what your influence, to harm somebody just because you have hurt feelings, at that time, I can't rock with you. I can't fucks with you because you are creating the victim all because you have the power to hurt someone else, and that's not okay.
Agreed. Don't be like me.
So, with that being said, Adrian, do you have any last words or anything like that?
Watch yourselves out here, people. Watch yourselves. The melanin masqueraders, the mayonnaise motherfuckers are out to get you. That sounds crazy. They're not out to get you, but they will get you given the chance. So watch it back, okay?
Right.
Move with purpose. Make your next move your best move.
Amen to that. So I just want to thank you again for just being an amazing person and coming on to the podcast. To my listeners, thank you all so much for supporting. Continue to like, subscribe, follow, share this with your friends. You can also leave comments, like I said multiple times. If I don't get to it, I'm trying to get to it. I know that this podcast is pretty much on all podcasting apps at this point. But if you ever just go to the YouTube channel and you want to comment there, that is welcome. But definitely listen to it on your podcast apps. That way I can actually get monetized and get some money to this shit. But outside of that, thank y'all so much for listening to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and talk about sexuality. I love you all. You are loved. You are cared for. On that note, y'all have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at www.soliloquy.com. That's www.heauxliloquy.com. Share the podcast with your friends and join the conversation.